right, you got legal questions, we got legal experts. Dan Del Rio and Chuck Caraway from Del Rio and Caraway joining us this morning to help sort some stuff out. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Morning.
I want to start with this case happened up in Davis. A woman's at a park, it's windy or whatever, tree branch falls, and unfortunately she loses her life. Recently, there was a settlement in this case for $24 million.
Verdict, yeah. No,
a verdict.
It's a tragic situation, obviously. I mean, the tree falls like 40 feet, 100-pound branch. And the city of Davis stepped up and took full responsibility for the actual liability on here. But it did go to verdict, and the jury went ahead and awarded $24.2 million in total compensation
For her family.
Yeah, for the wrongful death of the mother.
And so I would imagine then the implication from this is that the city needs to now go around and make sure all of the trees in their parks are safe.
So yes, putting aside, the verdict, probably the best thing that came out of the situation is City of Davis instituted a huge maintenance program for all of the trees for assessment and, pruning, hiring more independent contractors to go out and view them. So hopefully this becomes a thing that'll institute. I think they said for the next 40 years now they have a plan on how to go forward and try to assess these situations better.
That is interesting. Another interesting situation happening in Michigan right now, where apparently a judge wanted to sentence some shoplifters from Walmart to have to wash cars in the parking lot, but then the more senior judge said we can't do that. And so now this is turning into like a battle because some judges want to do this. Who gets to decide this ultimately?
Well, in this particular case, the chief judge, which is the senior judge, has said there's nothing wrong with this, because there's not. You're allowed to assign, community work or something like that for a crime, which this particular judge has said, well, the community work that we're going to assign is that I want everybody to wash cars.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, is this just a couple of people? No, this particular, the Walmarts in the area, they're saying there was something like 75 thefts, 75 people that were charged with theft. And since this incident has occurred, there's been another 30-something people. So the judge said, let's get creative. Let's find a way to punish these people, because that's what the crime does, and in a way that maybe makes it so that it's a little bit embarrassing and they won't continue with it. The chief judge said, I wanted you to come to me with this first, and so I'm not going to allow it now.
Yeah.
But apparently a bunch of other judges have got together and said, hey, we're kind of on board with this, so it's going to be a political thing. They'll probably move forward and see whether or not they can start assigning these types of punishments for this particular type of crime.
That is very interesting. So it's kind of like hey, just check with me next time
That's
you
all
want
it
to do
was.
something
Just
like
check
this.
with your boss every now and again.
So interesting story in France where a guy has his wallet stolen, and then the people who stole it buy a lottery ticket that wins like $500,000. And he's like, hey, please, I'll work out a deal with you. We can split the money. But you went digging into this. Okay, so what if this happens here in the U.S. and it turns out we may not be protected as we think?
So this is just like a legal nerd dream question. And the reason why, this is something you would see on like a law school exam or like the state bar, because there's so many layers to this that it makes it extremely complex. But we were just talking about it, and both of us were nerding out of it for 30 minutes this morning talking about it. Basically, you have, the first thing is that a person steals a card and then they purchase the lottery ticket. And so you have the question of, did they ever actually have rightful possession or title of the ticket in and of itself? Because they received it through ill gains, meaning someone else's money. Now, in Europe and in America, a lottery ticket is considered a bearer instrument in most areas.
Meaning
and that
what?
Anything. So what it means is if you have it and you come in and you put it down, you are in possession of it, then you get to win.
No matter how you came into possession.
It seems that way, but then we have the challenges from time to time, especially every time somebody wins one of these big lottery tickets where they say that that's mine. I know that if you sign the ticket, then it is your ticket. So if you purchase the ticket, you sign it, you can't then have the bearer instrument where somebody else gets it. In the case in France, in order to negate what will probably be a nightmare scenario with regards to having to go back and forth as to whose possession of it, all of the court fees and everything like that, the owners actually said, if you come forward, I'll drop the charges and we'll split it 50-50.
Split 50-50.
That's great, except for they're already saying, well, this was illegally possessed, so we're going to seize the money, something that the state can do. But also with certain crimes, if you report the crime, it's no longer up to you whether or not you get to drop the crime. It's up to the DA.
The prosecutor.
So if the prosecutor decides, no, I'm going to continue to prosecute this, then there's nothing that person can do.
So bottom line, sign your lottery tickets.
But don't let people steal your credit card and
Right.
Well,
buy winning lottery tickets.
But sign the lottery ticket, and that way you're protected. If that
Yes.
happens.
Right.
At the very least, a winning lottery ticket sign that way. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Cash?
John, thank you.